Hello and welcome to Homer for Saturday, May 17th, 2025. Today we will be reading from lines 412 to 425 in Book 10 of the Iliad. We will be hearing from Dolon some crucial details about the Trojan camp, and we will also be witnessing some crazy Greek forms that are very inappropriate to Ionic Greek. We'll talk about them after we translate and sing the text. Then made answer to him Dolon, son of Eumedes, Eumedeos huios. Verily now will I frankly tell thee all. Atracheos katalexo, mal atracheos katalexo. Hector with all them that are counselors is holding counsel by the tomb of godlike Ilus, away from the turmoil. But as touching the guards whereof thou askest, O warrior, no special guard keepeth or watcheth the host. By all the watchfires of the Trojans, verily, they that needs must lie awake and bid one another keep watch. But the allies, summoned from many lands, are sleeping. Summoned from many lands, pollu kletoi. For to the Trojans they leave it to keep watch, seeing their own children abide not nigh, neither their wives. Paides de gunaikes. Then in answer to him spake Odysseus of many wiles, How is it now? Do they sleep mingled with the horse-taming Trojans, or apart? Tell me at large, that I may know. Te prosepetolon eumedeos huios. Toi gargo toi taut malatracheos katalexo. Hector men metatoisin hossoi buele. Hector men metatoisin hossoi buele poreisi. Buelas buelaue theiu parase mateilu. Nos fina po floispu la casta sera eros. Utis kekrimene hruetai stotonure fulase. Hossai men troon puros escararai sinananke. Escarai hoisinananke. Hoide gregorthasi fulase menai tekelontai. Alleloi sataraute polukletoi epikuroi. Audusi trosin epita. Audusi trosin. Audusi trosin garapitra pausim folasein. Garsfin baidesker heiata ude gunaikes. Tuanda på mig pomenos prosepe polumete seduesaus. Påskar nun toesima mig menai poda moisin. How du say apanao te die po moi offra dai yo. Awesome. Really love the fourths. Trying to get really into the fourths. Lots of really meditating on the whatever it is. Sorry, my voice kind of messed up today. Anyway, so what's troublesome about this passage? Well, friends, Homer friends. What's this word right here? Egregorthasi. So, when we teach Greek here at Oxford, you tell people there's forms and you can recognize the forms. This is not a really good form in egregorthasi, this one right here. In the common parlance of commentary, this is termed a monstrum, Latin word for monstrosity. It's basically a poetic word that was invented for this particular passage that is just not grammatical. It's very, it's not like a real word. There's some perfect things that use the theta right on the end here, but almost nobody uses this reduplicating. Is it reduplicating? I don't even know. Yeah, adequate duplicating. Okay, whatever it is, it's not real. But you get the idea, which is that it's like to like, they wake each other up. It's from egero, right? Egregorthasi, but like what an interesting way of putting it. So that leads us to the operative waking up here, which is the fires, right? So they do not have a hero in particular. Vocative in the 6 foot. That's also weird. We do not have a hero who is decided to guard the straton, the host, nor to guard them. But nonetheless, there are so many hearths of the Trojans, which are necessary for them in order to wake each other up and to guard and to urge each other on. Right? What does that mean? Like through the night, probably. Right? But this ananke, right? Okay, so this is the crucial part. This is the interesting part. We'll get to something very interesting, I promise. The interesting part is ananke. Is it necessary for them to have the fires, or is it necessary for them to have the fires in order to keep each other going? The difference here is they either have a nature of wanting to stay up in the night and guard, or these fires are temporary instruments that they're using in order to make it through the night that they usually wouldn't stay up all the way through. So the way this is translated, that they needs must lie awake and bid one another keep watch, right, by the fires, right, as opposed to, they naturally have the fires all the time. Can sometimes be a difference in translation here. But the reason why this is interesting is because these polukletoi epikuroi, right? These friends of the Trojans, they're sleeping, right? Haodusin, right? It's they're leaning on the they're turning to the Trojans in order to guard them, right? And why are they turning to the Trojans to guard them? Well, they're turning to the Trojans to guard them because their children and their wives are not laying with them, right? They're not abiding by. They're not around, right? Is this? I think it's like lie encamped, right? They're not with them. So maybe they would keep a watch at night if their women and children were there, right? So there's two options here. Either there's a culture of staying awake in order to guard your wives and children all the time, right? That is, basically like the boys go off to war and like they can finally have a good night's sleep. Or, it's sort of like these guys, they don't have any allegiance. They don't have any actual allegiance to the Trojans, which is fairly true because they're being paid to be here, right? Why are all these Trojans friends here? Why do the Trojans like have these buddies, right? It's not because they have like, the obviously the honor of the Achaeans. Clearly, they're not the Danaans. They're there because they're getting paid, right? And they're not getting paid to watch at night, right? Because they have nothing to lose, right? Which is interesting because they kind of do have a lot to lose. Like if they got ambushed during the night, I mean, they would die, right? If they're all sleeping. So why don't they keep watch, right? So it's an interesting attitude shift between, like, it's an interesting situation of the East and the West here. The Trojans as, if we don't have to keep watch, we won't, right? Or like the Trojans' pals, rather, the epikuroi, right? And the Trojans themselves being a little more like, okay, we have something to lose. We have our women and children on the line, right? Because they're back in Ilium, right? So like we're going to stay up at night. Versus, the Achaeans, right? They don't have any women and children to lose. So like, why are they staying up all night? Perhaps it's a situational thing, right? But also like, perhaps it also has to do something a little deeper for the semantics of the sociology of the warrior abroad and how it's different between the two populations. Anyway, something to think about. I'm sure somebody has looked into this. That's it for today. I hope you enjoyed these lines of Homer, and I shall see you tomorrow. Take care and have a wonderful Saturday.